Hello, my dear dietitian and coach non-diet friends. This is Tracy Brown, your somatic dietitian and attune eating specialist. Sorry, my dog has gotten me off track here, but the show must go on, right? So I wanted to say hello and encourage you all for your clients who are stuck with the issue of feeling like down there in the little crevices around with their food rules and the desire to either be or stay thin, like undernourished and weight suppressed, what some of the function of that is. And what comes across, if you've ever been there yourself, and I talk a lot about that personally with my clients back when I was a teenager in my early 20s, and what maybe some people struggle with now. And it's like they push down deep in the recesses, but it's something that they're afraid to admit, and therefore they can't let go of something you can't admit, right? Is this pride of not having needs, this pride of I can deny myself, and that makes me feel powerful. And a simple way you can get to the root of that is, so what about not eating when you're hungry, or not eating that chocolate bar? What happens for you when you don't eat it? What's the experience? And most of the time they're going to say they're going to feel like they can accomplish something, or simply they feel like they have some power. Oh, I powered through my day, or I didn't need that and that felt really powerful. And so if you can help them see that the pride is really like this, like the body orientation with pride is like puffed up, right? So up. And if you're feeling up, that gives me a clue right there in your body posture and position that there's something you're trying to feel up from, right? And so when you go a little deeper, if I want to have power through denying needs, what I'm also part of, probably I pulled myself up out of this collapse of either humiliation or shame or sadness, of not feeling like enough, good enough, wanted enough, seen enough. And that may have nothing to do with food. So as dietitians, we're not going to do anything about like that root, but you might discover it. And let me just give you a quick example. So I've had some times where I work with clients and it's come to the surface that my attachment to keeping this weight suppression is about feeling powerful. Okay, so how old does that need to feel powerful? How old is that? Where did that come from? Or how old does that feel? And they can say, oh yeah, I remember feeling that when I was 16, 12, whatever, 20, and what was happening. And it could be totally related to food. Like, wow, I could not be like XYZ if I could control my body. Or maybe it's something as simple, it's not simple, it's deeply painful, but maybe it's like, oh, when I felt like I didn't have any power, I was XYZ, 5, 6, 10, 12. And they'll have a memory, they'll have a body memory come up of like, I remember that, the body memory that's triggering the explicit memory is, oh, I remember one time when my grandma said, I can see where you missed some spots doing my mirrors. And maybe some shame. And so it's like, no matter how hard they tried, it just something wasn't good enough. And that's going to feel a bigness and a heaviness inside anybody's body of like, oh, you're going to have this collapsed position. So a way as a strategy and a function to feel up and bigger, and I don't need, and I'm not going to even be in the position to be criticized, is through the body. So when you see pride and you see people talk about the power, know underneath that, it totally could be related to something that was totally about food. I want to be, my mother, my grandmother, that teacher, this thing happened where it's like, I can control my body and be above any kind of criticism. And that really makes me feel like I can do something, because then I didn't have any power to I didn't have a credit card, I didn't have a car, I couldn't blow this popsicle stand. So I decided never to be like them, maybe their body size, or not to be like I was then, the body size above it. Pride, right? It's not true. Of course we have needs for like pleasure and softness, and we feel sad or vulnerable. And if those have been overcoupled with the internal sensations of the body or the needs of the body, like food or pleasure, it's going to get all overcoupled and turn into this whole narrative and story of like, if I just control my food, I won't feel vulnerable, I'll be able to like accomplish something, I'll be able to be above this pain. And so I hope this little story and this little decoding exercise helped you kind of get more curious about how our clients speak about not needing pleasure or having needs or weight suppressing, and allow that to unfold through the body container, what you notice in the body, how old that is, where do they not feel like they had power. And then you're gonna be able to see how it's connected to food and health, and like just put that on the open, up on the plate. You do your work as a dietitian or a nutritionist around the food and actually what the body is saying about needs and what they actually want and need, and to learn to accept that. And then the other goodies go to the therapist. And so those needs get seen and heard and met on all sides. So I hope this video was really helpful. If it was, I would love to have your actually support around that, to let me know these are helpful videos. If you felt like it was, let your colleagues know that this is the kind of work we do here on this channel. And if you need something from me, if you have a decoding experience you want to do, please let me know. I also want to announce real quickly that I've started a once-a-month supervision group around basically somatic work. So I'm really kind of doing some decoding and somatic work in this group. We meet once a month. Our next meeting will be whatever the day after Memorial Day is here, 2020. I can't remember what date that is, but it's going to be kind of mid-morning as well. I'll put the announcements out in my email list that I get, as well as here too as the week goes on. So if you're interested in something like that, doing more examples like this, that's what we'll be doing there too. So thank you, Ashley, so much. I'm glad that you're here. I hope you're doing good. I saw some of your posts around what's happening in your world and your family, and virtual hugs to you. So thank you for being here, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye for now.